Welcome back, Cozy Travelers. If you are new to my channel, thank you for clicking on this video, and if you're coming back, I want to welcome you back. I hope you've had a great few weeks. It's honestly amazing to me that it's already December and we're pretty much over 2025. I think I'm still mentally catching up after our trip to Japan, so even though I feel like nothing has happened, I feel like a lot has also happened at the same time. So you know, it's just a lot of that. But seeing as I only have 2 more videos left until 2026, I thought now would be the perfect time to do a full wrap-up of the rest of the year for pens I've purchased for 2025. If you haven't seen my first video, the first parts of this one, that's already up on my channel. I put that out in June, and that was reviewing everything I got from January to June. And so this video is covering everything from July to now. Albeit one of them that I'm going to be showing that I got this month isn't really fully completed, but it's basically there. And I'll talk about that when I show it. So without further ado, let's start going through the pens. I think the way I'm going to do it this time, you're going to see that there's like a little display tray over here. I'm going to go through them by month instead of going through each one individually, bring it in. I think because it just kind of overall shows maybe mentally where I was that month. And I think, funny enough, you'll see how November was, which is when my trip was, and how that pretty much kind of opened the floodgates again, because I was doing very well and not purchasing a lot of pens. So first up here we have is my LYRAVELLE pens. This is my custom made one where I picked the resin blank and they made it over there for me. I have a whole video on this and the kind of process I went through and the unboxing of it on camera. I'll link the video up there. And yeah, this is the first pen I got in July, and actually the only pen I got in July. And this one uses a block nib. And what was really great and special, and I didn't notice until I opened it, is that the converter has a really cute sticker on it that kind of matches the pen itself. Perfect. So pen number 1. Pen number 2 here we have is from Mayfair. I have bought one from Mayfair before, and that was the smaller, that was the Varia model, or Naria. And that one I have literally not uninked since I bought it. I love that pen so much. It's a smaller eyedropper. And so when I knew that they were starting to do this A1 model, I knew I wanted to get one. And then when I saw this colorway, I immediately knew that this was an immediate purchase. So stunning. And this is a reverse threader, so the top, I've had to learn pretty quick because I've accidentally tightened this part too tight. The threads twist the opposite way, so if you're trying to take the cap off, you're twisting it to the right, and then the body is also to the right. So usually you would twist it the other way, so it would be like this, but not now. So that's where I've accidentally held this and then loosened this, so I've had to practice just literally holding it from here. But this is absolutely gorgeous, and I call this one specifically the Space Squid because somebody in our Discord said it reminded them of a squid, and the colorway reminds me of space, so that I thought it was perfect. Okay, next up we have the ones I got in October. Funny enough, these are very fitting for October colors. First one was from the Empire State Pen Show and was the only pen I got. This is the Twisby ALR, Diamond ALR in the Affogato. And as you could tell, it's still inked up. I inked it up after the pen show, and then it ended up being part of my fall lineup, and it kind of just stayed like that. From there, Pen Chalet dropped a collab with Leonardo and Jonathan Brooks for this stunning tiger pen. with black rhodium and tigers. You know, it was, I had to. My favorite tigers are Sumatran tigers. This is specifically the Bengal, but I was like, that's okay. And this one, I got it with the black trim nib, or the black coated one. And that one is so cool. It's my first black rhodium plated nib for me. And then when I got that one, I got an update that this Supernova, which is the caramel, was also on sale for like really cheap. I think it was like $150. And even though I just bought this one and they're very similar, I actually technically think I have a very similar colorway, this one, in my Edison Penco one. Their colors are different, and where it like shines is different. So I'm happy that I have both. But yeah, I haven't really shown this one I haven't even tried it yet. And I think I also got this one in a broad, but the nib is not in here. It's actually in another pen right now, because I needed something that could work with shimmer. So this one I think has my the radius nib. Yeah, this is not the typical nib for this one. But listen, when you have Yovo units and you could swap them, it just makes it so easy to just mix and match and see what's you're gonna need for your ink or something, or maybe even just the color. But yep, those were the October purchases. Okay, so for this one I brought the whole tray out because this is all the first batch of November's pens, and these are specifically all the pens I got while I was in Japan. I did a lot of damage and now seeing them overviewed. This is probably the reason why I got so many pens this year. I think honestly, if I hadn't gone to Japan, my purchasing for this year wouldn't have been, I think, as high. But I was in Japan, I was like, listen, when in Rome, and so I just bought any pen I wanted because I was on vacation. So let's quickly go through the ones. I'm not going to go too in depth in this because I did go over these a lot in my video about the Tokyo International Pen Show, and also my trip in Japan and the haul I did for those. If you haven't seen those, I'm going to link those in the description, and one of them will be, I think, item card up here for you to click on. But going through it, so the first two I got were these platinum placers. These are in collab with the anime Tiger and Bunny, and these are just basic pens, nothing too crazy, but I love that they were in collab with an anime that I really enjoy. The two that I got at the actual pen show were the Arc Layer DNA / Double Helix one. Absolutely love this pen, and they actually, the day I'm filming this, did the drop for their Kickstarter. If you manage to get a pen, awesome, because I think a lot of them already reached the capacity, like the max capacity for the pens, because I think they did them in batches of 100. And if you manage to get one, like, awesome. I really think you're gonna enjoy the pen. I've been enjoying this one really, like, no issues, and so I've been having fun with that one. Oh, I should mention, so this one is an eyedropper with a Yovo unit, but the Yovo, and it might also be because the ink is very wet, the medium on this writes very broad, so it's like more broad than medium. And yeah, what's fun is that, like, because it's an eyedropper, you could just see the air bubble float, like, traveling up and down the bubble, like the chamber. And I just find myself doing that every so often because it's so distracting. The other one was the exclusive that you could get at the pen show. It's a Pilot Lightive that says Tokyo International Pen Show. Again, nothing crazy, very similar to like the basic one of the Platinum. I do have a converter, I just had it in a different pen at the time. So I just put in a regular cartridge that I cleaned out and put in my own ink. But yeah, this one's actually been a really good writer, which is getting me really interested in possibly getting a Pilot for next year. The only thing, and the only reason I might hold out, is I have to find that perfect Pilot, because most of them have like that ball part, and I'm very particular with my pen clips. As you can see, like all of them are smooth, so getting one with like the ball on it, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it, but we'll see when we get to it and whether or not they have one that doesn't have that. Next up was the one I did at Ancora. This was part of the build your own table they have when you enter the store. You get to pick your barrel, your section, your cap, your finials, and the color of your trim for the clip and the logo, along with the color of your nib, which could be either just steel or the gold plated steel. I just liked how the gold really looked with all these colors, so I got that. This is a Sailor Fude de Manin pen in the anniversary model. So this has the 30th anniversary logo on it, and this is the colorway Shortcake. I thought that was such a cute name, and yeah, I've been having fun with this pen as well. Fude nib being the ones that are bent up like upwards. So that means your strokes when you're holding it normally and low angled are pretty broad, and then higher it's really skinny. This pen is also massive, so it doesn't actually even fit in here. I have to usually keep it on my desk on one of like the pen displays I have. Next up was when I went to Kingdom Note. I got two, well actually this one was secondhand, this one was new but on sale, which is great. This one is the Wancher Sailor collab in Otsukimi, and this is a gorgeous blue with yellow gold sparkles in it and gold trim with these yellow finials and the little Wancher logo there. This one is a 21K nib with the logo on the nib as well, and this is actually in a broad, so it's my first Sailor slash like Wancher broad. Absolutely love this pen. I have to figure out a new color because this is part of my winter lineup, but the ink it's filled up with right now is one I got as a free fill when I bought the pen, so I don't have the actual ink. I didn't want to buy too much ink, even though, again, if you watched my video, I bought a lot of ink, so I don't want to buy more ink, and I knew I had blues at home that would match this really nicely, so I gotta go through my list and see what's gonna go in here. The other one I bought, like I said, this is a new Platinum 3776 model pen, the Century in Koi. This one is in a medium as well, I believe. Yeah, and this is 14K. This is so beautiful. I love how Platinum's right. I really do. And so as much as I'm a Sailor girl, I think I'm a Platinum girl right after that, like right underneath that. I could be swayed for Pilot, but again, I have to find the right body for me to be like, oh, the Pilot nib is for me, or like that one's like the one. Because I love Sailor, but I love Sailor bodies. I don't know if I'm always 100% happy with the nibs. With Platinum, I've never had an issue with the nib, so that's always been a plus. And yeah, so again, we'll see what 2026 holds. But speaking of Sailor, the last one I got in Japan was the Sailor Ancora collab L'Ecole model in the Rainy Day. And this is a gorgeous blue pen with sparkles in the section here. Regular steel nib, but the nib has a little ring cloud on it and little shoes, and the converter itself has little boots. So this one's a really cute pen as well. And so those were all the pens I got in Japan. And again, this was early November, so when I got back, these were the next batches of pens I got. And thank goodness it was a small one, but these were probably pricier than all of the other pens I just showed combined. And what I mean by that is I got the little Hollow Customs piston, the Ferryman model with the piston filler. Because this pen is brass, like this is actual brass, the price for this pen was a lot more, but the colorway on this one was so gorgeous. I'd been thinking about this since the Empire show because I had seen the specific model and combination of colors. So I was like, after Japan, if I still have some funds, and I had sold one of my Jonathan Brooke pens, I was like, I have enough funds and I think I'm gonna do it. And I'm really happy I did because I find myself a lot more attached to this one than the pen I sold. So I was really happy to get that one. And then after that, I had come across this one a few times, and missed out on I think it was a sale going before Black Friday, and I didn't realize that these had gone on sale, because these are the Wonshur Densho Suguru pens. This one specifically, the Kuroage colorway, and these are beautifully 4-sided faceted pens. There's also a 6-sided one, but I really liked how clean the 4 looked. I think like the 6 might have been too much, especially because they sometimes don't align, like they move. And so I was like, the 4 is perfect. So I got this one mostly because I love the uniqueness of each layer of lacquer, and it really reminded me of the character from the movie Princess Mononoke. His name is Ashitaka. I will put his picture references here, and you could kind of see like the vision I had when I saw this pen. And that is pretty special to me because Princess Mononoke was the first Studio Ghibli movie I ever saw when I was younger, and it literally was the best thing I'd seen. It was like super, I guess, altering in how you saw anime, because at the time I only really watched like Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon. So I think the story and itself and how it was filmed and the pacing and everything, and like the themes of the thing were really something that stuck with me. So it's really fun having now a pen to commemorate that movie, because it's one of my favorites. Of course, followed by Howl's Moving Castle and then The Cat Returns. Those are my top 3 Ghibli movies. And so having that pen was really special to me. But that ended up being the final purchase I did for November. At that point, I really was done. I was like, I'm not buying any more pens for the month of December, until I started perusing eBay. And sometimes that's great, you're just like looking, and then I was like seeing this pen color, and I was like, oh my god, that's really pretty. And it was really inexpensive. And the reason it was inexpensive is because these are the 2 vintage pens I've now acquired, because now I'm on a journey of learning how to do like repairs. So let me bring those pens in. Okay, so here is those 2 pens I was talking about. The first one I got off of Etsy. This actually came all the way from Norway, even though it is an American pen. But the nib on this one felt like it wrote fine, and it's also 14 karat, the nib, but I got it for like a pretty decent price. I think I paid like maybe like $90, and especially for a 14K nib. There is a little bit of scratchiness, so I am going to be bringing this to a nib grinder and see if they could kind of tune that, because I would love to be using the nib that came with this. And with that, so I had never opened a vintage pen. I didn't really think about asking like how the fill system was for it. In that moment, I found out that it was a sack filler. And so I had to learn how to repair that, because I didn't want that money to have gone to waste because I didn't know how to fix it. And I was like, people learn how to do this, so it can't be that difficult. Thankfully, we have YouTube, because I found so many helpful videos, a couple specific ones like to these pens. So I will watch those religiously and just kind of like take in the information. And then I ordered a bunch of stuff off of Cardinal Pens, which is what Anderson pens used to be. So I'm really glad they're back in some shape, way, or form online to sell pen stuff, especially vintage repair stuff. So I was able to order like the shellac, the talc powder, the sack replacements, the springs for like the bars. So this one is fully repaired. Like the sack is done. I've reassembled everything. I've learned that it was like a button fill one. But the only thing, again, like I said, was the nib. So that one is almost ready. This one is a different story. This one I just recently acquired, like 2 days ago. And the nib was great. As you can see, there's nothing attached to this because I've disassembled everything and put it in this baggie so I don't lose it. But the nib broke great. I cleaned it out. I had to painstakingly heat this up so that you could loosen the section from the barrel, because it is a friction fit, so it's just kind of like pushing, but they most of the time shellac this close, so you have to really like melt this so that you can pull it apart. That has to be the scariest part about doing these repairs. But once that was done, I did the sack replacement, put the pen back together. I somehow, you kind of have to be a little fearless with that, is I removed the nib because I don't actually have like the push block thing that you could like push the nib out. I had like a nail head and a dream and a mallet, so I just kind of did it that way, and it worked. I was able to wiggle it out. So I'm gonna play with that because I did read online that these are just like size 6 nibs. So I'm gonna see if I could replace it with a nice nib. Not that this wasn't nice, but I like having both options because I could just swap it out. And so I put it together. I didn't realize that this was way too loose, and I was like, that doesn't seem right. Like, I'd seen videos about people filling once they've repaired it and this part just kind of going like stiff and then going back up, like springing back up. So I thought it was a sack issue, like maybe it was the wrong size I had put. So I took it apart and was like, I have to order a new one. So I ordered a bunch of new parts that are coming in next week, and then kind of put it aside. I then looked online more because I was like, wait, what if it was this part that I have to replace? And I just placed this order and I didn't even think about that you could replace this. So I looked that up, and sure enough, it's not this part that needs to replace. There's actually a bar, and I actually know because I took it out, an old bar in there that is what actually pushes the sack so that you could fill it. And I was like, oh, of course, that makes sense, because even the button one had one that I had to kind of slide back in, different style, but same concept where it's like springs. So I was looking in the thing because I was like, the video was saying that if it's in there you should be able to see it, but I wasn't sure if it was broken because this was loose. So I looked into the barrel, I saw the edges, and sure enough I saw this part right there. So I was like, okay, this has to come out. Took it out, realized, yeah, it definitely has to be replaced. So I've ordered this part now separately, and so this is going to be its own journey. But the pen is absolutely stunning, and I mean, when I saw that the name of it was Tiger Stripe, I mean, come on. So yeah, I've now found myself on the unexpected journey of replacing some, like, repairing vintage pens. Not as in depth as some people do it, because there's a lot of people that like do everything repair. But it's super fascinating. If you've ever like delved into like watching videos about it, it's like super fun. I could watch it for too long. But yeah, those were the only purchases I made December because they were really inexpensive. This one was, like I said, like 90. So not inexpensive, but like comparatively to the other pens I purchased. And then this one is $15. So I mean, I can't really be mad about that. And it's like super stunning. So I will probably post on my Instagram if this one gets fixed properly and just kind of show it off, because it's like super, like, I don't know, I just love both of them. But yeah, that is it. That was still at least like 17, 18 pens. So in total for the year of 2025, the, you know, drum roll, the total number of pens I purchased was 38, which is less than last year. Last year I did 50, and of those 50 I've sold about 2 or 3 of them already. But my goal this year was to do less than my first year. Pens, I really wanted to be a little bit more, you know, thoughtful of what I was getting. And honestly, if I didn't do the Japan trip, I probably would have done a lot better. But so it's, you know, so is life. And so I'm really happy with the pens I did get. Love every single one of them. And yeah, now that I have ones like these too, these have like very special memories to me in learning how to do stuff like repairing the sack or the levers or stuff. So that is it. I will be seeing everybody in 2 weeks. Let me know in the comments what your favorite pen was, or if now you have your favorite acquisition from this year. It's been a really fun pen year, and the second year of me just collecting, which is kind of crazy. But I hope next year I could do even better and do even less than 38 pens. Like, maybe let me goal it at 20. Because again, I want to make sure that every purchase I'm making is more attuned to me thinking about it more, and not just buying pens because I want to buy them. And making sure I let go of pens I'm not feeling, you know, as attached to. I think rehoming them is just as good of a feeling. And I know that because when I sold the other pens, I was really happy that they've gone to like homes I know would care for them. And so yeah, so again, as I said here, my next goal is to hopefully get less than 38. But yeah, I'll see everybody in 2 weeks, which will be the last video of this year and will be my full lineup for 2026 for my Techo Kaigi, and briefly talking about how I ended up the year with the books that I had for this year. And yeah, I will see everybody then. Stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you then. Bye.